Arrived back from Tokyo. These are my vintage finds, well, inside. Hello my lovelies and welcome to another video. Today's one is going to be all about vintage shopping and sourcing in Tokyo, clearly. I'm not sure how I'm going to film this video because it's a little bit harder since I'm not just continuously vintage shopping. Between our trip to Tokyo, we're going to Osaka and Kyoto, and it's a lot more than just this. So obviously we're trying to kind of like enjoy more what Tokyo offers other than vintage sourcing, but I'm gonna kind of try and show you what I see, guide you, tell you a little bit about the prices, about what I managed to find, about different kind of stores that you can visit. I personally can tell you that there are vintage stores all over Tokyo, but I love Shibuya, Omotesando, Harajuku kind of area for that, because you can just stroll around and go from shop to shop, which is amazing, especially because if you see something but you're not sure, you know how vintage is. You might want to come back later, but you need to see what else is in the other shops. It's not like, oh, you're going for a specific piece. So that's that. Besides that, I can tell you what's really great is that if you bring your physical passport, which you must bring, you can get tax-free if you do not live in Japan. So there's like a 10% off in that. Maybe not really like the most favorable thing for Japan now, but for us foreigners, it is that yen currently is kind of like in favor for us who want to shop here. So it's not very strong at the moment, which means that you can get more for your money. So first things first, currently we are heading to Paradise Vintage. It is a shop I've been to last time as well, but I can't actually remember it, funnily enough. I can remember very well from my previous Tokyo visit QOO Vintage, Amore, of course, Casanova Vintage, and other stores that you can see on my blog post that I've written about vintage shopping in Tokyo. But also, I have done a previous vlog, so you can go and check that out. I'm just going to try and answer to some questions that I perhaps haven't answered to in the previous video. Do you like the food here, Filippo? Getting lost in the little streets, you know? That's the whole drill. I didn't really know what to expect from Paradise Vintage, and I have to tell you that it exceeded all my expectations. They had vintage goods on 2 floors, and second floor was really like the more kind of precious pieces, such as these Hermès bags, pochettes, exotics. I tried on lots of bags. This was the first bag that actually caught my eye, but then I really love this Kelly 28 in Tabak. This was such a gorgeous piece. Filippo was really impressed with this boutique simply because the bags are so pristine, beautifully kept, and it's just in general a very comfortable zone. Here's the tea. On the first day that we came, because this is the second day of vintage hunting, on the first day that we were here, I already saw something and I got something, and that was like the first thing that I saw, the first thing that I got, in the same way I did it last time, right? Right now we went back to like lots of same shops as well. One thing I've noticed, I find that ready-to-wear is quite expensive-ish. Like classic white t-shirt with like a small little Chanel, like the 2 rackets logo, you know, it's the vintage one, is around 900 euros. So it depends. I remember prices being much better the previous time I was here, and the discounts were better as well. Like they were more excited to sell in a way. Also, I noticed that this time there's not really much price negotiation, right, Filippo?
Not really, no.
And last time I remember there was a bit more movement in terms like we could get a better deal, like if we were getting few things. Remember, especially at Casanova, we were getting better deals. As much as that is obviously playing in your favor, they also need to be fair towards them, of course. So that's a very important thing to remember. Now here's the Amore. This one is Chanel only. I remember coming here last time we were here, and if I'm very honest with you guys, it's not like, unless you're like into finding a classic Chanel flap, then you want to do a lot of like browsing and checking and finding the one in terms of like condition, because we're talking about the same bag that is like available in every single shop. But since I'm not on a hunt for Chanel, and you're just walking distance from basically QOO is there, QOO, and then the other one is just here, the new one. Okay guys, this is one of the 5 Amore Vintage different stores. This one has only Chanel ready-to-wear and nothing else. They have a lot of Chanel, I have to say. And they have bags and clothing and bags. They have so many different ones. It goes up 3 floors. So, and it's what's good is like it's all next to each other. We are talking about Chanel ready-to-wear oasis. You will be able to find so many beautiful dresses, tweed jackets, suits, knitwear, some new things and some quite vintage, very many special pieces in lots of different sizes as well, and great prices. Like think about tweed jacket in under 1,000 euros. Okay guys, I'm gonna try on a few little things that I picked. No shoes inside of a shop. Can you believe that? Like inside of a changing room, so I'm barefoot. Very cute. And this is the last. It's a set. It's a dress that has these CC pockets and a little jacket. I mean, I find the length a little bit awkward. What do you think? I find that exotic bags have the best deal in terms of markup because of course they're already so expensive as it is, so that the markup is not so big. Whereas if you were to get the box bag or the box leather bag, box leather I think like depends if they're vintage because there's so many you can get a good one, but like very often suede like Hermès bags for example would be more expensive than the croc bags, so that's also something to keep in mind. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is the first shop that we ever visited last time we were here. Camellia Vintage is a really sweet shop, small enough for you to see everything you need to see. Last time we found really great Chanel bags here. My friends got a bag here, and I think it's a great place to understand the pricing. We've seen so far a lot of canvas bags that you liked at all, and a lot of sort of like colorful things as well. A lot of classic flaps, vintage Chanel. Vintage Chanel, it's like, I feel almost oversaturated. So that's where the price is also going to be much better in terms of bags.
How much was a box leather?
I think it was $12,000, the blue one. A lot of variety. Also like pochette, for example, varies a lot in prices. So we're gonna go and I'm gonna write a blog post more in depth with the prices. But for example, a box pochette obviously would cost more than a Swift pochette, which is the same way in the boutique as well. I find that it's interesting as well in the vintage sale, just because box does tend to get scratched. But I mean, so does the Swift, but you know, you get a difference. So that's it so far. Currently we're outside of QOO Vintage. They have lots of things and 2 different shops. This one has a variety of things on the street, right? Like Vuitton and Chanel and Hermès, etc. But there's another store right around the corner which has Chanel. This is probably my #1 vintage store in Tokyo, and if I had to choose just one, I would go straight here. I love it because of the variety. First of all, it's a huge 2-floor store, and you can find anything from Hermès, beautiful Kellys in box leather. I tried 2, this one in this beautiful kind of like a goldish tone and a navy one, and I just loved finding so many treasures. I actually found another Kelly in suede. Here you can see this black one, but I remember it was quite pricey and it was from 1999. Then this beautiful brown matte Kelly. I would have actually gotten this bag, but I just got a few brown bags, so maybe not on this occasion. In the basement of QOO Vintage, you will be able to find their selection of Chanel, and they had a lot to offer. Chanel tweed jackets, a lot of extravagant pieces, runway pieces, pieces that I've seen in some really iconic Chanel campaigns, such as this pink jacket, I believe. Then jewelry pieces, this t-shirt I was telling you about from the tennis collection, and a lot of bags. Some stores, which I also find so strange, will say you cannot have tax-free because these items are vintage, and some obviously offer tax-free, so I'm not sure what's the regulation. And so some of them will give you tax-free, some of them will not have tax-free available, which I find strange. And then some of them will have tax-free price already written, whereas the others will have tax included price. So it's just something worth checking if you're coming to Tokyo and planning on doing a bit of shopping. In general, I would say the best stock that we found and the best pristine in terms of like how the shop was Paradise Vintage, right?
Yeah.
It was just such a beautiful experience. The most kind of like pristine, luxury, well kept. I felt very comfortable in this shop as well. It didn't feel overcrowded, or the way that everything was presented was just really, really beautiful as well. This is the Amore that I'm the most interested in because it's Hermès only. So this is probably the smallest Amore Vintage store, and I truly loved it because it was very clean and classy, and I found some of my favorite bags in here. They had Hermès but also some Dior and Louis Vuitton, and just look at this Kelly pochette. Wow. A small little break in vintage shopping, and we got to this restaurant that we randomly found. I genuinely don't even know the name. So what I'm doing right now is like I took pictures of everything that I liked. I'm kind of compiling pictures of everything that I like and the prices. I'm also cross-checking online to see what are the prices. Like for example, I saw in 2 shops like a very same bag, which was a pochette. Obviously the condition can vary a little bit, and there was a big difference in price big difference in price was I think around 2,000 euros, so it's a big price difference. So I didn't actually end up getting any. I just wanted to kind of inquire and do a little bit of research, and I'm looking online as well what are kind of the prices and range of prices for certain things. So I tried on this silk Chanel dress in store, and then online it's literally like triple the price if I'm looking at like Vestiaire or something like that. So just kind of trying to understand little bits and bobs and then continuing. Current situation in vintage stores. We are going to the one that Filippo wants to visit now. Lots of new stores have opened since the last time I've been here, so that's kind of interesting. Lots of great things, and I have to say the prices are even better than the last time we were here. Pretty good. We're heading kind of sort of more towards between Omotesando and Harajuku, but we're loving it. So cool. This is Casanova Vintage. It's quite interesting because you have to take off your shoes and put on slippers when you enter, and I saw so many beautiful pieces here, including that Chanel graffiti backpack. You might remember it because I once said how much I wanted it, but I think not enough to pay the price, how much it was. As you can see, here are some of the prices as well. You will just have to change this from yens. This is the price of the bags that you can see. They have so many gorgeous Chanel pieces. We are currently at Casanova Vintage. Filippo is trying on things like all the chrome hearts things that you can find here. This is the current situation. I've got a microphone very close to my mouth just because the music is pretty loud, but it's so funny always in here. It's really funny. We're trying to understand each other, and Filippo's always negotiating so hard. It's actually like a whole experience. Guys, I came here and they played me my video from last time. Look, we were also here. It's so funny that they recognize us from the YouTube video and they said they watched it. Arigato gozaimasu. Once upon a time, I really desperately wanted this Chanel graffiti backpack, and I still love it, but I feel like I've outgrown it a little bit. Even when I travel, I don't really travel with a backpack nowadays. So, but I love it. It's kind of stayed in that special time for me, although it's very expensive nowadays. I love these chrome heart little additions to Birkins. Casanova is different because you will find a lot of cool pieces here, like streetwear, chrome hearts, sneakers, like all of those cool bits and bobs that Filippo especially loves. Throughout this video, you will see me dress differently because I'm vintage shopping over various different days, but this video is only about vintage shopping, so I just wanted it to be all concise and in one place. For the 3rd time, I'm going back to a shop where I've seen a piece that I like, and the shop you have already seen probably, Komehyo or something like that. That shop actually, they have all around the city. They have one in Ginza, they have one in Omotesando. So I'm going back for the 3rd time to try the same piece that I've already tried several times, because when you like it, you like it. I don't know if this is gonna give you peace of mind or it's gonna make you feel more stressed or what it is, but I just want you to know that literally in all of this time of like seeing pieces and trying on pieces and checking out pieces, it never happened that something actually sells out. Things usually are there, so you have time to window shop and research. Okay, this wasn't here last time I was here, so we're gonna now explore it. Komehyo Vintage. I like this brown bag in the window, you see? Like a huge Kelly.
This is beautiful.
Filippo's
Very beautiful.
constantly crushing over these canvases on Kellys and Birkins. All I can tell you that I came 3 times to this store. It's not that big, but they have quite a few nice things. As you can see, really pristine Chanel tweed jackets, beautiful colors, and beautiful like Birkin Kelly corner. This is the only place I think where I saw these suede Kellys, and I love them. And on this occasion, they were actually on 5% off. You can see the blue one was around 3 million yen. And I fell in love with this bag as well as the suede one. It had matte gold hardware. It was just so precious and beautiful, in a great condition as well. I actually never saw this store before, so last time we were here, it wasn't here, clearly. Mission succeeded. Look at this. I got something, which obviously you will see in this video what I got, because that's the whole point of it. But
That's
overall,
the whole point of the trip, basically.
it's not point of the trip, but
Big part of
I
it.
have to say, so for like the same piece, I've seen like same pieces in lots of different shops, and the prices can differ so much. So if you see something that you think it's a very good deal, okay, you go for it. But otherwise, I would really recommend a lot of window shopping first. No, you can find same piece for like double the price in 2 different places. Yes, sure, the condition can differ. I don't know, it depends how you are as a person. So for me as a person, I don't think like a tiny little scratch on the bottom of the hardware that nobody, including you, will ever see is worth thousands. Just my general opinion, okay? So everybody can do whatever they want with their own money, but just an advice. Okay guys, a bit of different vintage shopping now. Actually, this is not vintage. These bags are mainly brand new. It's in a completely different area of the city. It's in Ginza, where we are right now. And we're gonna go and see what they have. Are you ready?
She's in heaven. She's calculating how much it is.
Do you think I could try this bag?
Yeah, of course she's trying it.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Huh?
Love it.
I think the damage is about to be done. Can you show me the bag? Can't see it. Okay, she's beautiful.
I didn't really leave much from Ginza Xiaoma store because the prices were just through the roof, which kind of completely defies the purpose of me shopping vintage in Tokyo. Home sweet home. Matcha in hand, of course. Just came back from Japan. What do you expect? Arrived back from Tokyo. These are my vintage finds. Well, inside, not the bag itself. Quite a light matcha because I need to stay awake, but then I need to sleep when it's time to sleep because jet lag is going to be killing me. But anyway, I'm not going to just chit chat because we can chit chat in the next video. In this one, I just want to talk to you about the vintage shopping in Tokyo, which is just even better than what I remembered in August 2023. Now, keep in mind, this time I went to Japan in April, which is a very popular time to go to Japan in terms of tourism and everything that comes with that. So Filippo and I, we obviously went to do all sorts of different things. If you haven't watched the Japan vlog, please go and watch it. But we also did some shopping, and I did it over like 3 days in bits and bobs, which is why this vlog is a little bit like all over the place in that sense, but I wanted to show you as much as I possibly could. Now, 3 things to keep in mind is that as tourists, you get tax-free when you have your physical passport on. If you don't have a physical passport on you, no picture, no nothing is gonna help. You need to have your physical passport on you and the physical passport of the person whose name is on the credit card that you will be paying with. That's very important. Not all shops offer tax-free shopping. I mentioned that before, and that is because some of them say like there's no tax on vintage goods. Some of them say that like, yes, you can have it. Third thing to keep in mind when you're looking at the prices is that yes, prices can be like listed as already tax included or tax-free, so also make sure to ask about that. Fourth thing to keep in mind is that you can find insane deals. I actually think that it's so overwhelming and it's so crazy how many things you can find that it's very good to come with something in mind, because otherwise you can get so overwhelmed by the amount of everything there is. It's very overwhelming, it's huge, and I specifically decided to focus on the one kind of area of vintage shopping because you can find vintage stores all around Tokyo and everywhere. Like, so we kind of went to this like Shibuya Omotesando end. And that's where I also think the prices are the best. Like, as you could have seen in the previous clips, there is also like a beautiful store in Ginza with like brand new Hermès bags, but there the prices were like really like resale prices. So I wouldn't say there was much difference from those prices as resale prices in Europe. However, the things that you can find in Omotesando, keep in mind like Chanel bags, there's so much Chanel. When it comes to Chanel bags specifically, the Chanel bags are really, really priced like so well. You can find a Chanel bag for 1,200 euros. Like easily. You just have to really dig. You can also find like really bad deals, of course, but that's the whole point, going there and really searching. I already did one vintage shopping video in Tokyo, so if you want to go and watch that one, go and check that one out to see how the things have changed. A few things also to keep in mind is like, don't get surprised if they ask you to take your shoes off if you're going into a changing room or trying on or stepping on anywhere where there's a carpet. Where there's a carpet in Japan, they do expect you to take your shoes off. Hygiene in Japan in general is like extremely important. They're big on cleanliness, so please respect that if you go. And in general, like when you're touching things, they really appreciate if you're touching things with gloves. So you will see in the vlog that I was always like handling bags with the gloves on for several reasons, not just hygiene, but also jewelry. Some people come with a lot of jewelry, touching like box bags and leather bags and things like that. I just feel like if you're not gonna buy it, someone else is gonna buy it. And imagine if everybody's just gonna touch it with all the scratches and everything. It's just, you know what I mean? Let's kind of leave it in the best possible condition to the person that's coming after us. So I think that's the kind of really nice thing about shopping. One thing that everybody is asking me about is, how do you know the items are authentic? How do you know they're real? And I think this is a very valid question. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Japan is one of the strictest countries in the world when it comes to counterfeit goods. So they have very strict laws and regimens. And I'll tell you one thing, Japanese people don't even cross the road if it's red. They're so careful, but of course, like, mistakes can happen, right? So I personally wouldn't buy something that I'm not sure of. So I do inspect every single piece that I'm after. I have never seen anything, like I haven't come across anything that I wasn't sure about, that I was a bit like, this is strange looking. It's also, if you're going vintage, things can change, especially when it comes to Hermès and Chanel, because they have changed things over the years. Like they changed the zip manufacturer over the years, or they would change the hardware manufacturer over the years. So it does differ from now to then if you're getting a bag from the 1980s. So there are things that you could be like, this looks a bit different, but it's just because it's vintage. I think my personal style is not very vintage, like rummaging and shopping. And when I'm talking about vintage shopping, I'm not talking about general vintage shopping. I'm talking about like pre-loved designer goods. So I have tried on some ready-to-wear, but I actually haven't bought any ready-to-wear this time. I wanted to buy a pair of Chrome Hearts shorts, which you would have seen me try on in this video, but they were just too expensive, or at least I thought they were too expensive for a pair of shorts for me, for how many times I would wear them. I did not end up getting them. They were a right price for the item, because they do sell for around that online, but it just wasn't like a good enough deal for me to get them. And when I'm in Japan, I do like to get good deals, or when I'm buying pre-loved or vintage, I like to get a good deal. Now, we did go to a few shops that I haven't shown, like the Ragtag. That's like a second-hand designer goods where Japanese people also shop. You can find like anything there, like from Margiela, Dries Van Noten, Chrome Hearts, Off-White. I'm trying to think what we found, like Prada, Celine, Phoebe Philo, Celine, you know, those kind of things, secondhand. And prices are fair, not great, but it's just basically like a big secondhand shop, and you know, you find something, but then of course it's very ready-to-wear heavy. And I always find that difficult because I find something and then of course they don't have it in my size and there's only one available, so I didn't really put much time and energy into that. My favorite shops for vintage shopping are. Now screenshot this, we will list them here. So if you want to have everything in one place, you can screenshot it, or you can check out our freshly updated blog post on this topic, which I will link in the description box. And if you bookmark it when you're going to Tokyo, you can have all the locations in one place, put them in your Google Maps and just go from location to location. But I would say my favorites are QOO Vintage, one of the Amore Vintage stores with the bags, the one that I've shown. Definitely Paradise Vintage, love that one. That's probably my second favorite. I love the Casanova Vintage. I loved Komehyo Vintage. That one I've never discovered before. It's the first time that I've actually been to that store, and I've noticed that they had several different locations across Tokyo. And then we went to Camellia Vintage as well. I believe I haven't missed out on anything. Personally, QOO Vintage just has so much that you can find, and that was the first place where I went. On the first day that we went, there was a queue outside, and that was the only time there was actually queue. It was like 15-minute queue. After that, it was just like every other day that we went, there was no more queuing, so just keep that in mind. I went there and I immediately saw a bag. First of all, I saw like few different things that I liked. I was trying them on. I saw 2 different Kelly box bags. They were in size 32, I believe, if I remember well. And the price was not bad. I think like they were only like, considering that Hermès often sells for obviously more than retail, right? We're still talking, you know, the Hermès prices. And I think they were only like 10% on retail price, which I think is fair, especially with yen and now being a bit weaker. It was still a good deal. I tried them on, but I was like, whatever. I went upstairs and then I saw a bag that I anyway loved. I anyway wanted this bag, okay? So I thought this is a bag that I needed in my collection. And the price was so good. It was actually a quarter of the retail price. So instead of it being more than what it costs in the store, it was a quarter of the retail price. It was actually pretty insane. And I immediately got it. There was no thinking. Like, I tried on the bag. I tried on several bags in queue when we went for the first time. And Filippo was like, well, you like this bag anyway, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting it. Because the price is just so good. The bag is perfect. And that was it. So, are you ready? Now, as you see, it comes in this brown Hermès dust bags. This is a vintage dust bag. The bag is actually from year 1990, so it's almost as old as me. This bag and me were basically both vintage. Ta-da! I mean, the bag is actually 1 year younger than me, so I feel like it's okay. We're not exactly same generation. I am so happy with this purchase. I cannot tell you. You know what I mean? When you see, the first thing you see usually is what you end up buying, I feel. Or is that just me? Let me know. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep you anymore without knowing, but you guys have seen this bag also on my TikTok probably. This is a black Constance, actually Niloticus crocodile bag with gold hardware, and you would think this is a Constance. What do you think this is? So this is a Constance 22. As you know right now, the Constances are 18 and 24, right? And I mean, they've changed them. They were like, there was a 224, there was 124. It depends on like the amount of the little, how do you call it? Like compartments on the side that they have. They went from 1 to 2 back to 1 in production, in terms of production. So the way that Hermès does things is quite actually funny over the years, is they would introduce something and then they would decide to change it. So for example, I've heard from Hermès that they're not going to be doing Cellier Birkins anymore. That's it. Say goodbye to Cellier. That's it. You shop Cellier, it's over. It's not over because it will never come back again, but they like to like produce certain things and then they stop it and then they bring it back in. The moment that they feel like there's too much, they bring it back. So they stop it and then they bring it back. So like, for example, recent thing through my Hermès client lifetime, I've noticed that there was no blue jean color anymore, and then they reintroduced it at the end of 2023, so they brought it back, so now blue jean is again in circulation. Same goes for the Constances. So when I started shopping at Hermès, there was like 18 and there was 24 with 2 compartments, and then they decided to bring it back with 1 compartment. Are you following? In 2023, and this was the 1 compartment as well, the 22. So I'll show you the condition of this bag. I'm very, very happy with. The only place where you can see signs of wear is actually the most sensitive part of Constance in general, is the strap, especially on such a leather. Here is the kind of like the stamp, and inside I'm very happy with the condition of it as well, especially considering the age. I love this bag. I think I will wear this bag so much, and you guys know how much I love Constance bags. So anyway, I already have a black Constance bag in box with palladium hardware. It's in 24, but this one is with gold hardware, so, and in exotic. Really beautiful find. Now I really wanted to buy some cute ready to wear as well, and this is the thing. I looked at the price of this one Chanel top that I really liked with the little rackets, like tennis kind of vibe. And it was like, I checked online immediately and it was 30% more than what I could have found it in Europe anyway. So sometimes you find like pieces in Japan that are very desirable there and like considered rare or special, and you will find them to be more expensive. So I think what's really important when it comes to vintage shopping, I think so at least, is to find for those good deals. I saw this pochette and I just like check the price for whatever, you know, I just wanted to know, and all of their pochettes were unused. I think pochettes were around the same price point. And then I went to another store where I saw the exact same pochette and it was 2,000 euro more. I was actually shook. It was the exact same pochette and like pretty same condition, if you ask me. Like I was saying this in the video, I think like if there's a small little scratch on the hardware, like on one of the, well, pochette doesn't have like the little legs, the feet, but like on something that is so invisible, I don't think that's worth 2,000 euros, like price difference. I think that's just crazy. So yeah, those are obviously things that you have to take into consideration when you are shopping like this. You really have to give your time to find the good deals. Also, me as a person, between August 2023 and between April 2025, I've completely changed my preferences. So when I was in Japan in August 23, I was like completely staying away from Hermès. I was like, I will never find a good deal because everything seemed like so expensive. And since I have such good access to Hermès, I felt like I don't need to be on a hunt, like I don't need to be searching for these bags to be bought vintage because I can get them in the store unless I found a really good deal, which is why this just made sense, because it is such a good deal. That was the first thing. I obviously saw bags that I absolutely lusted over, like that Kelly, I believe it was a Kelly 28 or 25 in Gris Tourtel alligator. That bag, I'll insert a picture here, stole my heart completely. That's like contender number one. Contender number two at Amore Vintage, the black pochette with palladium hardware in croc, shook, but the price was 20% more than it would be in a store. Still much better than the resale prices in Europe for the exact same bag, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay more for the bag than what it costs in the store, so sorry. And the third favorite, which is actually the bag I was gonna get, was the Kelly 28 Tobacco in alligator as well at the Paradise Vintage. I actually really love that bag. And the price was not too bad. It was under the retail price. So pretty good price actually, because it was from 2006 or 11. I can't remember anymore because I've seen so many bags in this short period of time that I just cannot remember. But I thought, okay, this is a beautiful bag that I actually like. It was tobacco is kind of color between like sesame and gold. It's like kind of beigey browny gold color, right? And considering that it was under the retail price, I thought, okay, obviously it's a used bag, but Filippo thought all of these bags at Paradise Vintage, they were in such a good condition. Filippo thought like all the bags looked like brand new and so well kept. And just because also the way that they were presented and the way the store is looking, it just helps, you know what I mean? However, one last time I went back to QOO Vintage, right, where I saw the Constance, and then across the road I went to the Komehyo Vintage where they had these beautiful few bags that I really liked. Like one of them was suede Kelly. Oh, suede was so expensive. Actually, all the suede bags that I could find, and I only found a few, like full suede. I'm not talking about grizzly, I'm talking about total suede. They were all like more expensive than any exotic leathers because they're so rare and so special. And there was this like orange Kelly with matte gold hardware. It was like insane. I think it was like 3 million yen. I don't know how much that is, but it's a lot. So I went back to Komehyo and then I saw a bag that I already had tried once before, but I was like, let me just try it on again. And asked for the price, and actually they just reduced it. And the price was half of retail price at this point. Because of the yen, because of the discount that they just put it on, and because it was just a very good price. Filippo was not really helping me because he was like, okay, he really liked the tobacco one and I really like this one because the price was really good. I was just like, you know what, let me just leave it. And then if I'm still thinking about it, next day, I'll come back. So the next day I had my contenders. I did my maths and I decided that finally I'm gonna get this bag. If I'm thinking about the gap in my wardrobe and what I would really need in my wardrobe, it's probably something light colored because I have already like browns and grays and blacks. But guys, this was just too much of a good deal, and I knew I was gonna regret this if I was not gonna get it. So here we go. Actually, I'm quite lucky. There's a bit of sun, so you can see the color of this bag because it's this dark gray. It's not a black. That's very important to understand. This is it next to black, also when in shade, okay? Because now the light is a bit tricky. I'm very sorry about that, but hopefully you can see it. It is Kelly 28 in graphite. I already have a graphite Constance, but it's matte, so the color is completely different, and it's with palladium hardware. I actually don't have many Kelly 28s. I mean, okay, I have my Rouge Ash, I have my black one, and I also have the Gris Asphalt one. It's a whole other topic. Anyway, so look how beautiful are the scales on this bag. Oh, love them so much. So anyway, this bag is in such incredible condition. I'm just trying to remember what year is it in. This is a K square stamp, so 2007. There are like few very, very, very slight marks on this bag. Like Filippo, of course, spotted them because he's a Virgo, not me. I ended up getting 2 exotic leather bags. Sorry about the light that is changing throughout this video, but you know, we're coming to that time of the year where it's going to be a bit like that. Hold on, let me try and fix the situation. We're back at the studio, and also here I think you can see it a little bit better now without the sun spotting, as well as comparison of the 2 colors. The reason why I opted for 2 exotic bags is because A, obviously I like them, but B, because the price was just so good. Too good not to get it. I'll tell you the honest truth, I didn't actually end up getting anything else in Tokyo. Like last time I bought like ready to wear, I bought sunglasses, I bought 2 or 3 bags, I can't remember, from Chanel, like a travel bag, like a mini bag. I bought few Chanel ready to wear pieces, I bought some sunglasses, I bought things. Now I just bought like a bunch of Kit Kats. I bought like a lot of Japanese cosmetics, skincare and makeup. I bought contact lenses and things that you could have already seen in the previous video. The only thing that I haven't actually shown yet is what I bought at the Cosme, but I can do a haul for that on my shorts, YouTube shorts, or my TikTok, just because I don't have like enough time to anymore talk about this. If I had unlimited budget, I would have loved to get the gray bag from Ginza Xiaoma. That bag I just absolutely, absolutely loved. Do I regret not getting it? No, because I didn't think it was a good deal. For me, like it's very, like it can be, I don't know what, but if I don't think it's a good deal, I don't want it. I don't want to get something, even if it's something I really, really wanted, that costs double the price that it should cost. So I feel like really lucky and happy with what I got because I got good deals. And I think like this bag, I'll be able to wear just so much. So much. Obviously, I know spring, summer is coming and like we want more color and I'm getting more into this kind of vibe, but I just got my yellow pochette, so that's gonna serve the purpose for a while. Anyway, so you know where to get all the information. You can see a lot of the things that I tried on my TikTok. You can see a lot of things that I tried on in this video. You can also go and find a whole complete blog post guide on the blog, and that's all I can help with for the moment. I really, really love Japan. I cannot even tell you, there's no place like Tokyo in the world. I consider it truly, truly special. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am wishing you a wonderful day. If you enjoyed it, do click the subscribe button, just because I had a little lapsus. Don't if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe and become a part of this family so you don't miss another video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.